Hey there, fellow game developers. Welcome back to our channel. Today we've got an exciting tutorial lined up for you. We'll be diving into Godot Engine 4.1 and exploring how to implement basic keyboard movement for your game characters. Before we jump into the movement mechanics, let's get familiar with the Godot Engine 4.1. If you're new to the engine, it's a powerful and user-friendly game development platform. It's open source, packed with features, and perfect for creating 2D and 3D games. If you haven't already, go ahead and download Godot Engine from their official website, and let's move on to the fun stuff. For this tutorial, we'll focus on a 2D character. So let's make a 2D scene node and drag in our icon to create our character. Double-click on the 2D node, we'll call that player, and we'll call this player image. Now let's add a script with player highlighted. Let's click on attach script and do empty create. Okay, let's start with a variable called speed. Give it a value of 200. And we're going to use the process function. We're going to use a local variable called velocity. That's equal to a vector 2. And use 0. So if you hold command and click on 0, it explains what this is. This is just an enumerated value. So we could just do vector 2, 0, 0, and it's the same thing. We're going to make an if statement. Input is action pressed UI underscore right I'm going to use velocity x plus equals 1. We're just going to copy and paste this a few more times. And we're going to change this from right to left, down, up. This will be a -1. Change this to y and +1, and this will be y and -1. And we'll go ahead and type out velocity equals velocity dot normalized times our speed. And we'll take the position plus equals our velocity times our delta. Okay, so let's break this script down a little bit. We're starting by defining the player speed in this process function, and we create velocity vector and check which movement keys are pressed. If the right key is pressed, we add the x component to the velocity, and so on for the other directions. We then normalize the velocity to ensure consistent movement speed diagonally, and finally update the player's position. So let's save that script, and we can play our current scene, and we now have keyboard movement. So there you have it, folks. You just learned how to implement basic keyboard movement in Godot. Remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to get into much more advanced topics a lot more basics. This is just the beginning of this tutorial series, and I hope you enjoy it. If you found this tutorial helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome content. Happy gaming, and thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions or topics you want me to cover in the future tutorials, please feel free to drop a comment below. And until next time, happy coding, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay creative.